election. That's one of the things. That's one thing that I wanted to talk about, and I also wanted to talk about financing your debt with your home equity financing.
Okay.
So those are two things I hope that you include in your presentation, if you don't mind.
Okay.
But those are two things because the reason that I wanted to use social media because I did read an article about a young lady was on her Facebook
Okay.
and was doing some stuff on her Facebook, social media, and I love social media, but that can sometimes be kind of dangerous to you. You
Yes.
know what I'm saying? And
Yes.
she was just chit chatting on the social media, and all of a sudden she saw a debt collector come up
Uh oh.
on
Uh oh. Uh oh.
and I thought that was very rude, and I didn't know whether it was out of place or anything. But I want to know your views on it and what the regulation is on that, and then and personally, the reason I don't want to talk about home equity financing because I thought that was a solution for me,
Okay.
and wondering if that is that a okay solution that someone else may could use, or is that not a way to do it?
Okay.
So can we talk about that?
Sure.
And can we
Sure.
also talk about the tips that you have for us that we could use?
Sure.
Okay.
I will say a lot of people fail to realize that unfortunately, as much as we do use Facebook, it is a unsecure site.
Mm.
So therefore, you have no privacy on there. It's not secure privacy. We've been talking with a company that we're exploring the option of being able to be able to have clients go on to our Facebook site and if they wanted to order the program, give their credit card information. Well, the guy said, well, we can't do it. We'd have to get a dedicated website just for that because Facebook is not a secure site.
Okay.
So when you talk about the lady having the creditors coming on there, that is how sometimes that is happening because people are able to access your information that you got on there. Some people put their address, some people put their phone number at the bottom of their profile. Well, that information is on an unsecure site. So even if you don't have your address, but you put your cell phone number, well, your cell phone number can be linked to the address to your account that you gave when you got the phone service. So in other words, if you gave the same address that you have on your driver's license to set up a mobile cell phone account, people can go to a website called Intellus.com. It'll give me your address
Wow.
to where that cell phone is routing is based out of.
Oh my goodness.
So therefore, they may for the young lady that had the creditor show up, they could have used that site with her phone number that she may have on the, and even if you got an email, that email can be traced
Oh my goodness.
to where that. So we talked about it in one of our prior shows. We don't have the privacy we once have anymore. It's just everything is virtual. What you think is private is not private anymore. So that is one thing that you have to bear in mind whenever you're getting on these social networking sites. They get a lot of information from you when you do surveys. That stuff is put together in the demographics. And that's how they're able to tailor who they're dealing with. They know the customer. They know something about you before they even meet you or ever do business with you.
So you're saying it's not even safe to do surveys like when you go in these stores and they give you these receipts back and say, well, will you go on this site and you do the little surveys and ask you how your service was at the store and you get a chance to enter into a contest to get $500 rewards or something. That's not even safe to even do that.
You're running the risk of sharing what is considered private information. When you go on those surveys.
Wow.
And they can track you. They can know what your buying habits are. They know what to mail to your home. Like if you're a person that you love pocketbooks, you love shoes, they use that survey information.
That's how you get all that junk
That's how
mail
you
in
get
your
junk
box.
mail because they can tailor the demographics to whoever they're going to be selling to.
Wow.
So I mean, it's amazing how they can compile so much information on us before we even know who we're going to be getting the mail from.
and then they can and they do that too for debt collection
For
too,
debt collections,
as
exactly,
well.
exactly. If sometime you can go to a site that may be, it'll start out where you're doing just an innocent survey. They may lure you in by saying we'll give you a free gift card to a restaurant, and but you got to participate in the survey. Well, it gets down into it before you realize it. You are now asked, do you have any outstanding debt? And do you want a debt consolidation loan? All right, and you click yes. Then it goes on. It'll ask you, do you owe credit cards? Do you have student loans? Well, you keep clicking on some of that information, then they're gonna start learning more about you than you ever thought you knew that you were revealing. So that's the thing that we have to be careful. I often tell people sometimes, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is, and you have to use that, that mentality that Chili is not going to give you, or Applebee's is not giving out $125 gift card. You just have to ignore it and don't even bother to get involved with it, because some of the surveys that people get involved in, the more you go into the survey, the more detailed questions it begin to ask, which can be intrusive,
Okay.
and you want to be careful on that.
Okay. Okay. All right.
The other one, I think you were talking about, you had a question in regards to, like, was it debt consolidation or home equity?
Yeah, using your home equity loan to finance your debt, or to clear your debt.
Okay.
Your little pieces of debt that you got
Gotcha.
out there. You
On that, I would say,
and see, like your home equity loan, maybe at something like 4%,
Okay.
5 or 6%.
Okay.
But then all these little debts you got, that's 29% and all those percentage. So I'm just asking you, is it wise, or is it okay to maybe do that? Using your home equity loan.
in other words, tapping into the
Yes.
equity of your home to
Mhm.
pay off some debts.
Mhm.
Well, one or two things that you as well as a consumer have to consider, because if you're like over we have some clients who are like they're in an age bracket where they qualify for reverse mortgage, where it allows them to use that feature to get cash out of their home without necessarily how can I say it? You're not really you're not being as risky as you would doing a traditional equity line of credit. A reverse mortgage is sort of like and I think from my understanding, I would consult a tax consultant if you were considering that, or someone out there listening was considering that option. If you're like, I think it's 65 years or older, they can qualify for what is called a reverse mortgage, where the home, by you owning it, pays you the money and you do what you want to do with it. And it's not necessarily an equity line of credit. If you're like in a bracket where you're below 65 and younger, and you have paid your home down to where you have some equity in there, if you have credit cards and things out there that are certainly the interest is higher on those things than it would be on your home equity loan, that would certainly be an advantage
Okay.
to use the proceeds from the equity line of credit
Okay.
to pay those things off.
Okay.
So in other words, if you owe, we have people who have the store credit cards, which I always teach against. You want to have it where if you can tap into your home equity line and borrow $15,000, I'm just using a figure,
Yes.
or $19,000, and you can secure a home equity line of credit and pay those high interest cards off, then yeah, I would say go for it, because you're bringing yourself into a positive.
Right.
You're getting into a situation where you're increasing your cash flow. You're giving yourself a restructure of your finances.
Good. Oh.